first act when I defended.
I think it's like
people deluded. I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
Thank you very much, Ian Wright. People deluded. I'm back again. Quick video. As you lot can see here, Gabby Martinelli and Gabby Jesus have been called up to the Brazil World Cup 2022 squad. First things first, commiserations to Big Gabby. He's probably been done a bit dirty with Brazil looking to go with another striker indirectly with Martinelli in the amount of wide players. Dani Alves, who will be the oldest player representing Brazil, has been called up as well to go with Militao's ability to go right back. That probably means why they probably bet on more of an attacking player, whether that's Martinelli or somebody else, or the wild card of Martinelli or the experienced Dani Alves, and that's cost Big Gabby a spot. And I know his heart's going to be bleeding. You know, he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's going to be happy for his fellow Brazilians and club teammates in Gabby Jesus and Gabby Martinelli. But obviously, you know, he's been in good form, probably thinks he deserves to be there. You probably knew Big Gabby wasn't going to be selected. He's been called up for a couple of Brazil teams without necessarily playing, so maybe the manager isn't convinced. I like Bremer as a defender, but he's looked a bit shambolic as Juventus has, so maybe the manager's betting on what he knows. Either way, I think Big Gabby should be there, but keep your head down, keep working. You're still young enough to get a next World Cup or so under your belt, Copa America, etc. So commiserations. Shout out Gabby Jesus for going. You knew he was always going. And shout out Martinelli, who in my opinion was on the cusp, was on the radar, but in the last few months and weeks and whatever of the Premier League, undoubtedly he's forced his way in with his performances. You know, it weren't his best of games, but against Chelsea, against Liverpool, just how he started the season, how he's evolved as a footballer physically, etc. And I'm happy for this lad. Firstly, because obviously I want Brazil to win the World Cup, as well as a couple other nations. If it doesn't come home, if the French don't do it, if Lionel Messi doesn't get one, then I think the Brazilians and Neymar deserve it, people. And then we tick it off from there. But he deserves it. I'm happy for him because it's what dreams are made of. You know, you all saw the World Cup in Brazil, Gabby Jesus, the pictures of him like painting the streets and cleaning the streets. The next World Cup, he was involved. Martinelli, the best thing I like about him is his mentality. He's not fazed by everything. He plays every game like it's his last. He's confident in his abilities, but he's also very humble. And he has shown that at Arsenal Football Club, even way back to when he was playing in the Europa League. The game that always sticks out with me with Martinelli is actually a game we lost, Arsenal versus City at the Emirates, where Runnison was in goal. But I remember, like, obviously we weren't where we are now. Only him and Lacazette were really down for it. And he's, 18, 19 them times, still only 21. He takes things in his stride. And, you know, it's testament to the club because, again, people said, how does Mikel Arteta develop players? And maybe Martinelli needs to go on loan. He's been called up to a Brazil national team where there's a wealth of talent, really. And they've got a wealth of talent, even looking at the players who missed out. I love this guy because he responds with adversity. It didn't work out for him at Corinthians. Didn't work out for him at Barcelona or United trials. And he's shown football's a funny old opinion because Barcelona and United, Arsenal have made a lot of errors, but them teams didn't take a chance on him. He's now going to the World Cup. And even if they didn't believe in his abilities, he'd make both of them teams significant money. He's actually last couple of games played well against Man United. And you just have to ask Klopp, always waxing lyrical. Realistically, he goes to the World Cup as a bit of a wild card, really and truly, hoping to get minutes, but it's a good look for him. And as I was saying, he responds to adversity. In 2019, he was playing in the 4th division in Brazil. A couple of years later, in 2022, I'm not going to say he's the poster boy, but he's a wild card in the World Cup squad, and we hope he has the best of time there. Again, in 2019, he's playing in the 4th division. In 2020, he's an Olympian for Brazil as they won gold at the Olympics. And now in 2022, he's hoping to bring home the big one, really and truly, in the World Cup. So I've got nothing but praise for him. Long may it continue. Hopefully he develops people. And I think obviously he's a talented player. He's been capped 3 times for Brazil. So he's on their radar. But in terms of playing out of your skin, probably can't, in terms of a wild card, sometimes you need that at the World Cup. He's probably given the gaffer sleepless nights, and everywhere he's gone, when you're talking about players in England, there is obviously a number of them, but Martinelli's name has to come up on the radar of players playing very well and out of their skins. And so credit to the young man. When you look at Tim Vickery, who is a South American football expert, apparently Martinelli has forced his way in. None of them, in brackets, the Brazilian trio of Gabby Jesus and Gabby Martinelli, were in the last squad, with Gabby The centre back, he was in the squad for a while without playing, and I think it became clear that the coach did not trust him or didn't trust him enough. So his exclusion is not a surprise. Gabriel Jesus was always in, while Gabriel Martinelli has given the coach sleepless nights. I was with the coach 2 or 3 weeks ago after Arsenal had beaten Liverpool. Martinelli, in the coach's words, was the best player on the pitch. A month or so ago, I don't think Martinelli was in the squad, but he has forced his way in through sheer week after week excellence for Arsenal. It has been a very difficult decision. How are you going to get him in? There are two ways. And as you can see, Militao's ability to play over there probably means not bringing in a centre half, probably means, you know, they brought a number of wide men, you know, the only out and out striker. Neymar's going to play through the middle. Obviously, how Neymar plays up front is going to be completely different from Richarlison, who's performed quite well for Brazil, really. But the big risk with Brazil is they obviously have Gab Jesus who can play out wide. Obviously, you probably imagine Richarlison, just based on how it's been going, is the next in line. But they've got a lot of wild cards and a lot of wide men. You know, you've got Anthony, you've got Martinelli, you've got Vinicius, you've got Ridrago. You know, again, they haven't really got too many out and out nines, or really look a bit weak in terms of centre backs with respect to Militao and obviously Thiago Silva. But in short, shout out to Martinelli. He deserves it. He's doing well. As I said, commiserations to Big Gabby, and obviously Gabriel Jesus and Gabriel Martinelli joined Tomiyasu and probably I'd assume Saka and Ramsdale in representing us at the World Cup. Don't forget Partey. Again, we hope Ben White gets a look in. Obviously, it looks like he will be in the France squad, but in relation to Saliba, we hope he's involved as well. And it just shows the project of what Arsenal are undertaking, and specifically Mikel Arteta. You know, again, obviously Saliba was a French international before he kicked a ball for Arsenal, but he's going from strength to strength. Martinelli's still got a long way to go, but refining his technical ability, getting bigger and bigger in performance week in, week out, you know, becoming more dominant and more decisive for Arsenal. Really, you know, he's been able to take advantage of Smith Rowe not being available on that left-hand side. Obviously, Saka's going from strength to strength. Ben White as well, who, if he doesn't get called up to England, there's something seriously wrong. And you hope when Smith Rowe's back again, you know, him and Gabriel can get going and get called up to the international team. And yeah, man, you know, they're doing it in present, and we hope they continue to do it at Arsenal in the future. But yeah, one love to Big Gabby. Commiserations to you. Big up Gabby, Jesus and Martinelli for being selected, man. And I'm so happy for the lad, man. You know, hopefully, you know, an Arsenal player can bring a World Cup home, but whether that's the French, the English, the Brazilian, or so on and so forth, people. Shout out Partey and Cole who are going. On that note, though, people, that's all I wanted to say. Big up them. Please make sure you comment, like, subscribe, set your notifications on. Make sure you're checking out my playlist and keeping up to date with all the content. Don't forget to follow on Twitch. Please make sure you hit the like button, because you lot are doing my engagement levels dirty. But on that note, stay blessed, stay safe, have a great week. I'm out.
Always was that active red line, defending.
I've been good.